Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the very short and extremely impressive catalogue from two of the finest, most decorated, respected and celebrated musicians of all time. And in my opinion, these two are the finest drum guitar pairing on the scene today, and I put them up there with other iconic pairings such as Pat Metheny and Antonio Sanchez, Allan Holdsworth and Chad Wackerman, and of course the legendary John McLaughlin and Billy Cobham. And these two guys have played together in virtually every kind of situation and setting you can imagine, from duo to trio to quartet to quintet, and they have been playing and collaborating together for almost 17 years now, so a few years away from almost 2 decades, and these two gentlemen need no introduction whatsoever. I am talking about, of course, one and only guitarist, bandleader, and composer, Wolfgang Mutshspiel, and drummer, bandleader, and composer, Brian Blade. So, individually, Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade are two of the finest musicians on the scene today, and they have seen it all and done it all and played and collaborated with just about everyone you can imagine. Wolfgang Mutshspiel, of course, has been an important voice for the guitar since the mid-80s, and he's played and collaborated with just about everyone you can imagine, from Gary Burton to Mick Goodrick to David Liebman to Patricia Barber to Marc Johnson to Paul Motian to Dieter Ilg. He is currently a member of the guitar trio MGT with Slava, Grigoryan and Ralph Towner. And Brian Blade is, in my opinion, one of the greatest drummers in the world, and he's played and collaborated with just about everyone. From the legendary Chick Corea to Kenny Garrett to David Binney to Ed Simon to John Cowherd, he is currently a member of the Children of the Light trio with John Patitucci and Danilo Perez, and of course, he is best known for his long and legendary association as a member of the late great Wayne Shorter Quartet. So, for today's edition, I am going to be taking a look at both Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade duo albums, and I'll be talking about each album individually, and as always, I'll be choosing which one I think is the best one. Not an easy challenge, especially when you've got just two albums, but boy, what two albums we have here indeed. So we're going to start with the first album, which came out in 2006, and this one is called Friendly Travellers. So Friendly Travellers is the first guitar drum duo project by Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade, and as you'd expect from two outstanding musicians of this caliber, nothing but the absolute best. Top-notch musicianship, great production, unbelievable playing from both men. It doesn't get any better than this, and you know, Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade have unbelievable chemistry, which is on full display, and they really do make a fantastic guitar drum combo, And Brian Blade has been pretty much Wolfgang Mutshspil's main collaborator for virtually almost 20 years now, kind of like how Antonio Sanchez is the main collaborator for Pat Metheny. Brian Blade has played on virtually all of Wolfgang Mutshspil's projects and albums that he has made and recorded for ECM. And for me, Brian Blade works very well with Wolfgang Mutshspiel, and the guitar playing and the drumming, it just fits together like a glove. It's just absolutely beautiful. So let's have a look here. And there we are. There's a very cool shot of Brian Blade playing guitar with Wolfgang Mutshspiel. And I should tell you now, Brian Blade is a great guitar player. That doesn't get talked about much, but he's a really good guitar player. So all of the tracks are either written and composed by Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade, and most of the material is co-composed by both Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade. So great composers individually and together, even better. You know, they really come up with some great material for this album. So tracks we got here are Naden Wald, Between the Beats, End on Four, Valikilide, Yusu, the title track Friendly Travellers, Baladino, Heavy Song, Andrzej Rubajuru, Cold Summer, The Tuning of the Bells. Great collection of songs here. And we've got Wolfgang Mutshspiel on guitars and voice, Brian Blade on drums and guitar and voice. But wow, unbelievable stuff. Great album. And, you know, there's a reason why these two continue to work together to this day. They just continue to keep getting better and better. And I love it. I think they just work so well. Standout tracks for me are Between the Beats, End on Four, the title track Friendly Travellers, Heavy Song, Cold Summer, and The Tuning of the Bells. Great album here. And if you're a fan of Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade, this is definitely one worth checking out. And even though it's on Wolfgang Mutshspiel's label, Material Records, it's Wolfgang Mutshspiel's album, but it's very much a team effort. It's Brian Blade and Wolfgang Mutshspiel together doing what they do best, and that's just put on an unbelievable masterclass. But it's a really good album. So there you have it. Friendly Travellers, fantastic. So we move on to the next album, and this is a double album. This is Friendly Travellers Live, which came out in 2008, and this is a 2-disc set. So disc 1 is the CD, and disc 2 is the DVD. So it's pretty much the material from the Friendly Travellers studio album, with a couple of new songs added to the mix as well. And for me, as much as I love the studio album, I think the live album's even better, especially the DVD. It's really, really good. So let's have a look. There we are. And all of the compositions are written and composed by Wolfgang Mutshspiel. Of course, up there of Mutshspiel and Blade. Great duo here. So we got Between the Beats, Yusu, Shanghai, Naden Wald, End on Four, Valikilide, and Heavy Song. So there's about a couple of 2 new tracks from this album, and all the rest of the material is from the studio album. And they're all like quite long tracks. You know, you got like Between the Beats, that's like 8 minutes. Yusu's like 10 minutes. Shanghai's like 5 minutes. Naden Wald is like 8 minutes. End on Four is like 11 minutes. Valikilide is like 6 minutes. And Heavy Song is like 9 minutes. But great performances, and you know, as much as I love the DVD, I think the CD sounds even better. You know, the sound quality and production is just really good. So standout tracks for me are Between the Beats, Naden Wald, End on Four, Valikilide, and Heavy Song. Really, really good, strong live album. And as I said, it's pretty much like Friendly Travellers, but performed live. Really, you know, it's not much different, but just that the tracks is a little bit longer. But it's really, really good. And the concert was performed in Vienna in 2007. So that's well over 16 years ago already. Long time, but really good album here. So there you have it. Friendly Travellers live. If you're looking to listen to these two live, this is the one to check out. Really, really good. And it's a great follow up to the studio album, Friendly Travellers. So, which Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade album do I think is the best one? Well, we've only got 2 albums to choose from. And as much as I enjoy the studio album of Friendly Travellers, I have to go with Friendly Travellers live. It's a fantastic live recording. Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade, for me, sound even better live, as much as I enjoy listening to them in the studio. Seeing them together on stage, cooking up a storm, and seeing their chemistry and musicianship flow, it's just a thing of beauty, and you have to really see it to believe it. And, you know, I like the DVD, but I think the CD sounds even better. The production on there is just really crisp. Brian Blade's drumming is very clear. Mutshspield's guitar playing is just pure to perfection, really. It just doesn't get any better. And as I said, Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade, they've been playing together for well over 17 years now and still going very strong to this day. And they currently have a trio with bassist Scott Coley, which, sounds fantastic as you'd expect. And hopefully we'll see a new album from that band sometime this year, fingers crossed. But for me, as great as Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade sound together in trios, quartets, and quintets, I think they sound even better just the two of them. They really read each other's minds, and the chemistry between these two is just unbelievable. And as I said, I definitely put these two up there with Pat Metheny and Antonio Sanchez and all the other great guitar drum combos. They just a marvel. That's all I've got to say. They're an absolute marvel. So there you have it. Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade, Friendly Travellers Live, the one I consider to be the best one. But also, Friendly Travellers studio album is also very good, so definitely worth checking out. So make sure you check out both albums. They're really, really good and really enjoyable. So there you have it. Friendly Travellers and Friendly Travellers Live. Fantastic albums. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite Wolfgang Mutshspiel and Brian Blade album? Is it Friendly Travellers or is it Friendly Travellers Live? And if so, what's your favourite track from Friendly Travellers? Is it Between the Beats? Is it End on 4? The title track? Heavy Song? Cold Summer? Or The Tuning of the Bells? Or do you have a favourite track from Friendly Travellers Live? Shanghai? Villa Calide? Between the Sheets? Or Yusu? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourite tracks and we all have our favourite albums. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.